So I made a play in Trials the other day, and I wanted to dissect the footage a little bit and just explain my line of thinking, because in the past, I've had people ask me, questions about Crucible, and I'm not a good Crucible player by any means. Um, but I have had people ask me, so then now I can just refer them to this video for just a small sample size of the way that I think. Anyway, I'm gonna let the clip play in full and then run it back with my actual voice over it, pausing it, talking about, what am I thinking in the moment of, X, Y, and Z. So here's the clip.
You are the last. Make them run. One minute left, my friend. You alone will bring victory. And I'll let you. Opponent revived. You alone will bring victory. And I'll let you. And this.
Now we're going to watch it back again. And this is by no means, I'm not like, oh my god, I'm a god for being able to pull off a 1v3. I mean, two people had used a super, so I had advantage immediately while in Goldie on two people. So I'm by no means, I don't want this to come off as me thinking that I'm some type of hot shit. I don't, by any means. Anyway, so at the start of the clip, you can see that I immediately get away from my teammates after I see the red dots show up on my map. Because obviously they've got three aggressive supers. We know they're coming. There's no reason, and all of the supers are, none of them are roaming. It's all pretty close together. You can argue that Chaos Reach is kind of roaming a little bit more than the other two at least. But anyway, just don't want to be on top of each other, right? So you want to avoid those kills. And the second the first super is thrown, the second that Nova Bomb leaves, I'm out. I'm just dipping. There's no reason for me to be over there because I have my Goldie pocketed. I know that the best thing I can do is get away from my teammates. The Squall throwing it right after the Nova is obviously just something that immediately plays into my favor, because now all I have to worry about is the Chaos Reach each. So I'm going to loop around the outside and hope to catch them off guard with the fact of just not knowing where I was in the Chaos. Obviously, I missed the first Goldie shot, which then puts me back at a disadvantage because I already would have had to hit the Chaos Reach in the head if he Chaos Reaches me. So now I'm behind even more, and I guarantee can't kill all three people with the Goldie, which puts me in a very unfortunate situation. But I've got to just, use the two shots that I have left to the best of my abilities. But anyway, I'm trying to get an angle on them because I think that I rotate over to the side that I do because I think that they've pushed towards my teammates' bodies at least a little bit. So I'm trying to get the long lane on them where they don't really have a shot to shoot me back before I get the hit on them. And then obviously I end up seeing the guy to my right and I focus on him, get his kill, pocket where his res is. Then you see me turn around after a couple seconds because I actually see the blip on my radar that obviously somebody's back in spawn. And knowing that the Squall and the Nova Bomb have already been thrown, I knew that they were close to us, so it has to be the Chaos Reach back there, who is my, at the time, biggest threat. Because if he doesn't die and I run out of Goldie, I run double primary. There's no real world where I can kill him out of it, so as long as he uses it in a relatively smart way, I stand no chance. Like, it's an insta-win card for them, basically. So now my attention's fully on him. He obviously comes around the corner and peeks me. I get the kill and I get to move back immediately. I then think when I go back to point, because obviously I see that it's being capped, I think that the dude is just going to sit down below the point because you can cap him while just hugging those walls on the lower sides. So I'm going to throw the dynamite to try to push him off or at least get him weak so that then I could push up on him. But instead, obviously, he then rotates out, which gives me advantage because I get the shots on him. I then, obviously, again, I remember where the first guy dies, so I just need to be very careful and hit my trip mine where I want to hit it to get him, to kill him, hopefully, which obviously it does, and that puts me in a very prime position to then kill the last guy because he's now weak from getting rezzed. Now, the one thing here is I'll say that before I do pick up the third kill, I get very fortunate that I'm assuming he didn't have time to reload because you see the special disappear, which I'm assuming means that he picked it up, and because he was dead, obviously he wouldn't have respawned with special. So he could have a shotgun. I don't think me pushing in this general direction was smart. I think I should have played off a little bit. But obviously it works out for me. He runs right into me, and I get the kill, and we're good.